Hello and welcome to the Pop Pod. I am Sam, also known as Pop Sam Cam, and it is a bumper New Music Friday. We have so much to get through, so I'm not going to waste any time, but I am going to tell you to follow this podcast if you like what you're hearing, rate it 5 stars, and come and join us in the Discord so we can explain or discuss, rather, all the new music together. But for right now, I have with me producer Jono to run through the music. Are you as excited as I am for this massive
I'm excited
day?
for the bumper. We're going to be bumping that. I'm ready. Should we get stuck into it? We've got about 20 to get through.
We literally have so many songs to get through. We don't even have time to discuss the news. Miley Cyrus came out with Beyonce at the Paris show to do Two Most Wanted. Lola Young had an in-ear problem at Wembley Stadium, but pushed through it anyway. That's the news for today. Let's get into New Music Friday. Okay, the first song is Haim's All Over Me. Haim have released their 4th record called I Quit. All Over Me is the single that's been, I suppose, pushed with the rest of the record. This one, for me, I mean, I just feel like I fall in love further and further with Haim with every release. We saw them at Primavera a couple weeks ago. They were just so like warm and fun and engaging. And this song just gives me that warmth, maybe more than any of the singles that they've released so far. It just like feels like a hug. It comes really early on in the record. It's about like, I think it's about like kind of casual flings. And it feels probably the most old school Haim, like of the whole record. It feels like it could sit on other Haim records the most of anything on this album. And I love it. What did you think of it?
I think it's good. I haven't listened to the whole record yet, but I liked it. Probably not as loving it as you are, but maybe that's because you saw them recently. Did they perform it at Prima?
No, they didn't
Okay.
perform it. I think they only did 2 new songs, but
Okay,
yeah,
fair.
I've listened to the album. Maybe once you listen to the album, you'll soak it
Yeah, I'm
in.
really excited to listen to the album. I think the only thing for this record is I'm not sure when I'm going to listen to it. Like, is it a morning or evening record?
As in you're busy or... Oh.
I am busy. But like, am I listening to it drunk, hungover? Like, it doesn't sound like a pre-game album, but it doesn't sound like necessarily a hungover album. So that's the only thing I'm struggling
It's
with.
an interesting one because it kind of switches up in the
Okay.
middle. Like the beginning's quite like mellow and then it switches and it gets a little bit more like chaotic and frantic. We listened to it last night while we were like having drinks as the sun set. I'm not suggesting everyone go to Italy and have drinks and watch the sunset so you can understand the Haim record. But I feel like it's that time of day, you know.
Okay. So it's Puglia Sunset. Perfect.
Fully a sunset. And if you feel like you're not getting it, we'll do a Pop Pod sponsored trip to Italy and a listening session so that we can all understand the Haim record on my dime.
It's a bot for me,
Haim's
though.
record label, if you're listening, maybe help us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the next one is Benson Boone. He's also released an album this week. I know that you were the most excited for this album, American Heart, and Mr. Electric Blue is the single coming out with it. Tell me what you think of the Booner and
Of course, you're
Electric
making
Blue.
me go first. Well, this might surprise you. I think this is the best song he's released. I was absolutely bopping along to it.
I thought you were going to say the best song of the week. I was like, we can end the call.
No, but I'm gooning over Boone. I'm a gooner. Gooner Booner. I feel like this melody works. I like the breathy bit of the song. I honestly was like ready to have a lull and be like, oh, here we go again. But I was like, it's just a good pop song. I don't think you could flop this, but I'll see what you say. It's a bop from me.
No, I agree with you. I think it's a good pop song. I think that like melody's tight, production's tight. Like I feel like he sounds maybe like he's got the most personality of anything he's released so far. I guess like my confusion still remains with how you get from Beautiful Things to this without really showing the progression that much. And I don't think it fits on him that well. Like in terms of, I think his voice is not as smooth as somebody like Harry, who could kind of
Yeah.
tackle this chorus in a much more like slippery sort of way. But that said, it's definitely like up there with his best releases, and maybe I'm a booner this week as well. So, bop for
Let us know if
Boone.
you're gooning over Boone. Also, I agree. I feel like Harry would do this song probably, not to compare, which is so annoying, but better, and it'd probably be like a massive smash. Dare I say this could be in running for Song of the Summer? Probably not for us, but I think for the gen public.
No, not for us. Maybe, yeah. But then again, like the Sorry I'm Here for Someone Else didn't hit, so who knows? Like, I don't know if this 80s kind of, I don't know, like Prince cross Queen sort of vibe is working. But anyway, we'll see. It worked for us, so that's a win, I think.
Yeah, it is.
The next one is Jade with Plastic Box. Jade is releasing her debut album, that's Showbiz Baby, in September. She's just been cranking out the singles. Plastic Box is the latest, and it's definitely in the vein of like Robin Dancing on My Own, and then obviously Ariana Grande's We Can't Be Friends. It's just like a throbbing 4 to the floor beat. And her vocals are probably the softest that she's ever given us, I feel like. But she just really nails the melody of this. And I like that it doesn't feel forced, in that it doesn't feel like she's trying to crank out some huge chorus out of nowhere. It just slides through, and I think it's the most subtle thing she's released. But I think people are going to go kind of nuts for this. I think. Why are you shaking
Because
your
you
head?
just stolen literally every single thing I was going to say. I'm so annoyed you went
okay.
first.
I thought you were.
I literally was like, Robin,
Well, you go.
Ariana. It's like the softest she's been. I actually don't know what else to say. The only other thing I thought of was that I was almost surprised to hear this. But then I was like, why am I surprised? She's like a student of pop. Of course she would go down this route for at least one of her songs. So I felt a bit silly to be surprised. Although I am pissed off at her. The album's in September. I'm like, just fucking release it. I'm ready for it.
I know there's going to be surely there's going to be one more single before the album. So there's been so much out so far. But also, like, I like that she's taking her time and she's showing us all these different sides. And I feel like you're so right with the student of pop thing. Like, of course she was going to do this style because she knows exactly where like the genesis of modern pop is right now. And like that seed was planted with Robin's Dancing on My Own. And like, why wouldn't you celebrate that in some kind of way when you're trying to show that you are like such a student and such a like champion of this kind of pop music? I think that it's cool to hear her in this
100%.
style. Where do you feel like it fits with like the rest of her singles so far?
Well,
as in what, like if you're ranking?
I think maybe probably third or fourth for me. Maybe third, to be honest. I think Angel of My Dreams, the Fantasy Channel Trace remix is my number 2, which I know lots of people probably don't feel the same. And then I think this would be third.
It's great. Yeah, I think I feel the same as well. I feel like I liked FU for now, but then it feels like too straight down the line pop.
I like it
for what she was doing, so that's probably at the bottom.
Oh, I know, but I also like It Girl.
Yeah, I think It Girl's great. I mean, she hasn't fumbled yet, so
they've all been good.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Album out next week for Lorde. Virgin Hammer is the next single from it. It's the third song from the album, and it will be the opening song of the album. I was just looking at Lorde's opening songs for albums, and they are always phenomenal. It's Tennis Court, Green Light, and The Path, which are like 3 of my favorite Lorde songs. And now she's adding to this with Hammer. I'm interested to know what you feel about this one.
Wow, you're finally letting me go first. I'll try and steal everything you're going to say. I heard the snippet a few days ago, whatever she posted on TikTok, and when I listened to the song, I was like, oh, this was not what I was expecting from the snippet at all. I think the snippet sounded so much harsher, and I was like, maybe more experimental, and like, obviously it does have those elements, but it's really not like a crazy experimental song. Like, it was much more kind of pop with the experimental like elements of like the music. So yeah, I was quite surprised, but I loved it. I feel like she does such a good job of mixing like humor. Like the hammer and nail analogy is like so funny, and like
that line is so good.
It's so good because it's like, it's, if someone else sung that on a different song, it could be so cringe, and she just has the ability to pull that off, and also like bring you into her world of like, yeah, she's horny, and then suddenly it goes into like sex and gender, and like the born again thing really made me feel like, oh, okay, this is like why it's called Virgin. Like, I feel like the world building element of this song for the narrative of the album worked so well. That's Born Again,
Yeah.
not Bjorn
So I
Again,
got a
the
bug on
ABBA
me.
tribute band who are Australian. So I feel like it's just a really good song. It's 3 from 3 for me. Obviously, I'm excited for the album. What do you think?
Yeah, people aren't feeling the same way as we are on these album tracks. And I feel like it's because they are a little like crunchier and a little tougher to get into. But what I like about all of them is she's not just giving us like this full like euphoric relief moment, because obviously the like time period that she's sitting in with this album, she's having like epiphanies and she's having like gender breakthroughs, but nothing feels complete and nothing feels like she's arrived at the answer. Whereas I feel like Solar Power, she was trying to like say in some way, like, I've found the answer, like, I've found my peace kind of thing. And I love that all the three singles haven't found any kind of peace. And the drop for this one is so like industrial and frantic and chaotic and confusing. And it's
Yeah.
almost like frustrating to listen to, because you're like, just like find a breakthrough, and she doesn't. And I kind of end up loving that, because it just adds this tension to the song that is so cool. She's giving the verses of all these songs so much space to breathe, and so much space to like show off this new kind of lyricism that is like funny and is horny. And like, as you said, the hammer and the nail line is just like one of the all-timers for Lorde, I feel like. So I'm a fan of this again, and I can't really rank these three singles.
No, to be honest, they're probably ranked in the order they've been released for me. I feel like it's been 1, 2, 3. I haven't had obviously enough time with Hammer. What are people saying online? They don't like Hammer.
Yeah. It's just like been mixed for all the singles, but I feel like it's just this backlash for Lorde in general, because people like find what she says in interviews a little jarring, and they sometimes find her to be a little like, I don't know, highbrow, but I don't agree with
Yeah, but
any of
also
that, obviously, and I'm eating up all the singles.
sometimes I'm sorry, like, you don't have to love every element of an artist. Like, I don't actually watch Lorde's interviews because sometimes I do find like it can hinder the music, and that's okay. I don't have to be her best friend. I actually just respect her as an artist and her music and her vision. So boring when everyone's like, oh, they have to be this like perfect whatever.
I feel completely the same way. It's like, why can we not stand like complicated artists? Like, I feel like back in the day there used to be so
Yeah.
many artists who were annoying, like, and said annoying things, like as if Prince wasn't insufferable to watch in interviews, you know? Like, that's what gets us to the most exciting art. If we're just all giving relatable interviews, like, fucking boring. Let's move on. Anyway, it's a bop.
Exactly. And she is also a really like normal, funny person. I think she's just like takes herself seriously like FK Twigs does. And like, I'm sorry, if you spoke to any like painter, they'd probably be the exact same. So like, why does pop music have to be any different? It doesn't have to be.
Exactly. In the words of FK Twigs, where have all the great thinkers gone? There's no more great thinkers.
They're not on this pod, that's for sure.
They're certainly not here. Nowhere to be found. Can't see them. All right. The next one is Lola Young's Not Like That Anymore. I think the album's called I'm Not Fucking Myself,
Yeah.
or I'm Fucking Myself or something. Anyway, it is out later in the year, and Not Like That Anymore, I think, is the second single from it, following One Thing. One Thing's become like one of my favorite songs of the summer. I've had it on repeat. I just love it, and I love her, and this is like not any different for me. I love that the chorus has a bit more of a rock vibe to it. She lets loose a little more. It's a little more messy, excuse the pun. I just think she's adds something really fun to pop music right now. And I know that a lot of people are making the Remy Wolf comparison, and obviously I can hear that in the vocals and the production. And that's because they share a producer. But at the same time, like, she just adds a level of like honesty and personality, and like drops a barrier between like her and the listener that I don't think Remy's doing, and I don't think many pop stars are doing in general. So I think she's like a breath of fresh air, and I love this.
I didn't think about that Remy comparison, but it's so true. But also, I love Remy, so it's kind of does make sense. I much prefer this song to the previous one, which I didn't listen to again since we bopped or flopped it, and I flopped it. So interesting you've had it on repeat.
I can't believe you flopped that.
It was just
You need to bring it back.
not the song
When I
for
come
me.
to London, I'm going to force feed it to
Well,
you.
it's not going to work. But this song's much better. I really like it. I think the lyrics in the chorus are much better. The only thing that really annoyed me was the fat kid eating cake line. I honestly want her to next week just edit it out and rewrite it because it's just like really trite and lazy and it's not like.
Wait, what was it? I didn't clock it.
She said something like a fat kid eating cake. It's just such a boring, lazy, like it doesn't. I think it's totally detracted from the song for me.
Her Bruce Bogtrotter
I
moment.
literally thought of Bruce Bogtrotter, and I was like, this is not like, I don't know. I it I know this is so annoying because I really respect her, and I know she's copying a lot of shit at the moment, which is totally undeserved. Um, So just to be clear, I really do like this song. I don't know why that line just really pissed me off. And I was like, please do the Taylor Swift me thing, spelling is fun, and just next week change it. And then everyone will forget it was ever on there. From me to you, Lola, I think it would then be really good. Thank you.
Oh my God, I forgot she edited that out.
She just completely removed it. And I'm like, and as she should.
All right, well, it's a bot for me.
It's a bot for me too.
Okay, the next one is Cmat's the Jamie Oliver Petrol Station, which is quite a title. It's the follow-up to her song Take a Sexy Picture of Me, which is like one of her first big viral moments. I'm pretty sure that it's like one of her biggest streamers at the moment. And it feels like it's finally happening for Cmat after a couple years of trying to break through. This is such an interesting song. It's quite long. I couldn't really ascertain exactly what it was about, but I really loved going on the journey with her, and I really loved how she kept stopping and saying, I'm not explaining myself well enough. And I'm like, you're not, because you've lost me. I'm confused. But regardless, I really liked it and I love her vibe. I just want more of this like pop music that is just packed with personality and really narrative based storytelling, and she is like just nailing it right now. I'm really excited for this album. And to see where she goes from here. I'm interested to know what you feel of Cmat, because I feel like she could be up your alley.
Yeah, I've actually known her for a while because one of my friends is obsessed with her. Shout out Tinia. I really like her. I feel like other artists take note. This is how you tell a story in a song. This is how you add personality and emotions. Like the minute, like you say, when she says, I'm not explaining myself very well, let me try, that invites every listener to pay attention to the lyrics. Like, why are other artists not doing this more? It really made me think, I really want to know what this is about. You're inviting me to take part and problem solve, which is like an element of every good storytelling from every book and story forever.
I want Benny Boone to interrupt Mr. Electric Blue and be like, I'm not explaining who Mr. Electric Blue is well enough. Let me get deeper.
Yeah, who is Electric Blue? Who is Will Williams? Let's bring it back to that.
People might have heard us bring up Will Williams in quite a few podcasts, and Will Williams was an enigmatic photographer who took party photos when we used to go out when we were 18. It's the most niche reference, and there's about maybe 0.00001% of people on the planet that would understand that joke.
I'm literally like, artists, listen to this storytelling. Meanwhile, I'm telling the most alienating joke on the planet. I still want to know who Will Williams is, though. I think let's get this trending. Hashtag who is Will Williams? We need to know.
Who is Will Williams?
Also, the structure back to Cmat of the song is amazing. Like, it's a crescendo at the end, and like also the final bit where she's just like, why is Jamie Oliver's picture here? I don't like him. It's just like really humor and heart vibes. It's really funny. It's really emotional. Also, it's like the title is giving Lily Allen like window shopping with granny or grandma or whatever. Like, I just love that UK
totally
humor that I think like.
Is there a Jamie Oliver petrol station, or is that a little joke about a little capitalist joke?
I actually have no idea. I just assume there is.
Let's look it up. It wouldn't surprise me, but it feels like a very American thing. Like,
I don't think
it feels
she'd make
like we
it
would
up,
have a Gordon
though.
Ramsay petrol
I feel
station.
like she's more like diaristic, no? Diaristic? Is that even?
Here we go. It's coming up. Well, what comes up when you Google it is her song. So I'm guessing her SEO is not enough to outpace Jamie Oliver's Petrol Station. So I feel like maybe it's not.
She's got the best SEO
He has
team.
petrol station meals. Maybe that's what she means. He makes petrol station meals.
Yeah, I don't think she means it's
Main
like
plus a snack
BP.
plus a drink for £5.
I don't think Jamie's invested in the oil or gas industry. I think she means she's like, oh, Jamie Oliver.
All right. You got me. I'm sorry. I live in America. I'm used to everything being celebritized.
Could be a good venture for him though.
You haven't been to the Taylor Swift oil mines?
I wouldn't be surprised. Did you see? Oh, let's not get into it anyway. I was going to say I had controversy with visiting a sick children's hospital, and then she was like, I like your Harry Potter like merch or something, and someone was like, she's anti-trans. I was like, is the internet the biggest? Gaga was right. The internet is the toilet of the world.
Wasteland. Awful. Like, honestly.
Give it a fucking rest.
I'm the first to call J.K. Rowling a shithead, but
Same.
in a children's hospital, like,
she's a children's hospital.
Let it go.
The only bad thing she can do at a children's hospital is sing "Spelling is Fun." I'm joking. Let's move on.
The next one is Cardi B's Outside. This, I think, is going to be the lead single off her forthcoming second album, which comes 8 years after the release of Invasion of Privacy, her debut. It's insane. Cardi B was the, like, hottest commodity, like, literally one of the most charismatic, like, exciting artists to come out. And I just remember the buzz around her during Invasion of Privacy. And it was like everything she did was incredible. And this is just a perfect example of once you lose the momentum, it's impossible to get back, because there's nothing wrong with this song. And in fact, if it was on Invasion of Privacy, I probably would have thought it was a big bop, but she's not doing anything different. I'm not seeing the progression over 8 years' time. Like, she's a mother now. She's going through like a pretty public divorce. Like, she's faced the scrutiny of the public in such an intense way. And this is what she comes out with. Like, I know that there's a million other male rappers that are doing songs just as vapid as this and not facing the same kind of criticism, but like, she is on another level to them, in my opinion, in that she's capable of doing something that has something much more unique to her. And while I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with this song, it's just not exciting me or showing any development for her as an artist.
I don't understand. It's just,
I don't know if you're on the same page.
It's Up round 2. I was like, this doesn't sound any different to Up, and Up wasn't like some smash. It was just like made waves because of like her. I'm rooting for Cardi. I don't know what to say.
Me too.
Like, her charisma and like her on a song is so good, but if the music and the beat is average, like, what's the point? Like, why waste your charisma on just a really basic song? I don't understand who is telling her that this is. I did hear a rumor that she submitted an album a few years ago to the label and they kind of said no. But then I'm like, what? So she has submitted this and they were like, yeah, then get a fucking new label.
It reeks to me of like fatigue, as in they're just like, you know what, whatever. Like, we'll put this out and we'll just get this record out. But like, I just can't imagine that she didn't have good material around WAP. Like, to have a song like that was such a like groundbreaking, just like earth-shattering moment, and everything was right. Like, the visuals were right, everything. And then like, to do nothing off the back of that and come back a couple years with like Bongos, which was just a absolutely terrible song, and like almost destroyed the legacy of WAP by trying to do WAP Part 2 and just like watering it down.
About Bongos,
Awful.
one of the worst songs.
Terrible. It was terrible. It's like worse than like Nicki Minaj following up Pink Friday with Pink Friday 2, which was equally as bad. Anyway, it's a flop from me, unfortunately.
Yeah, same. But I believe Cardi will come out with a couple of good songs from the album. and then she'll get momentum again. I just think it's just going to be a steep climb to get there.
Okay, let's move on.
Cool.
The next one is Kesha's Attention. This is the next single off her new album called Period. This one features Slater and also Rose Gray. Let me know what you think of these, because I've been really up and down on these Kesha releases.
That's
but
what
I
I was going to say. I'm really
the
keen to.
last one, Boy Crazy.
I am really intrigued to see what you think, because I know you've been quite up and down with Kesha's songs. But I think this is an absolute serve. I feel like this is built off the back of Boy Crazy and The Hype and the same avenue. And I just wish that this and Boy Crazy were the only songs that she's released recently, and then the rest were kind of pushed to the side, because this is the avenue I want to be in with her.
Yeah.
I feel like Slater and Rose Gray make sense for collaborations. They both do really well, especially Rose. I feel like Rose is like having this, I don't know if the sense in America is like that as well, but over here, with pop fans at least, she's really building a lot of momentum, which is really exciting, because I feel like she deserves it. I feel like every drag queen is going to do a number of this song, the same as Boy Crazy. Like, you could just do a Kesha medley at this point of new songs for like, it'll be like these two songs and then like Rainbow or Praying or something, and just like I can see the vision of how camp you can make all of these songs. So I'm excited. Maybe I should do that. I'll do drag.
I want to hear
Kesha.
Praying to this beat. Perfect.
I think I've seen
next episode. I'll be waiting for it.
I think I saw a drag queen do Praying into Daddy Don't Know it's coming on into Sam Smith and Kim Petras before. But anyway, I think it's a bot for me. But what are you? Is this our first disagreement, or are you bopping it too?
No, I agree with you. I think it's really good. I like that she's moved away from the yippee-ki-yay kind of sound that was almost trying to go mainstream. It feels like the wheels have fallen off at this point in a really good way. Like, she's just doing really chaotic shit, and like this one's weird, and I think that she's made the right decision in getting Slater and Rose Gray and tapping into a new audience. Like, I feel like she's definitely been trying to tap into this younger demographic, and she missed the mark on the first couple singles, and then she's really built it back up. And just having these Slater and Rose, who have like really cult fan bases right now, is a really clever way of putting like Kesha back in the conversation. I thought the beat was really cool. To be honest, it's not my like kind of music. I'm probably not going to be returning to it that often, but I do like respect what she's doing now, and I'm happy that people are loving this. So I am going to give it a bop. I think I've bopped everything. Even Benny B.
No, we flopped Cardi B.
Oh, we flopped Cardi. Okay, good. The next one is Sophie's Ooh. This is a demo or an offcut from Sophie's record Product, which came out 10 years ago now, and they're re-releasing it posthumously. It just feels good to like hear new Sophie music. This definitely feels kind of unfinished to me, but I like it because I can feel the essence of Sophie within it. And like, it's got that like really sugar sweet melody and those really like, I don't know, assaulting synths. And what's cool about it, I think, is that even hearing it now, I'm like, oh, it still sounds so fresh. Like 10 years later, this kind of sound still sounds so far ahead of what other people are doing. So I feel like it's not something that I'm going to be like replaying over and over again, but just as like a Sophie diehard, it's a nice thing to have, I think. So I couldn't do anything but bop it.
Yeah, same. And the fresh point is so pertinent. Like, I was thinking about It's Okay to Cry the other day, and I was like, that still could be released and people be like, this is ahead of its time, even though it was from like so long ago.
It's incredible.
Is she singing on this though? Because it doesn't sound like her at all.
I don't think so, but I'm not sure who the vocalist is.
Because I couldn't see.
I actually haven't read anything about this song. I probably like I should have looked up Jamie Oliver petrol stations.
Me too. No, I didn't look up anything because we're busy. We're booked and busy. You're busy at the beach having mimosas.
Here we go. Ooh has been floating around. Yeah, exactly. Don't disturb us. Ooh's been floating around as a leak for over a decade now. I think even pre-product. That doesn't really give us anything. But
Yeah.
this is the final version, apparently, which features alternate lyrics and a shiny new instrumental. The vocals are Jade Green.
Okay.
I'm not sure who Jade Green is, to be honest. We're really butchering this.
Yeah. We might have to.
R.I.P. Sophie. We're really showing you a lot of respect.
We might
here.
have to edit this bit to make it look like we know what we're talking about.
People don't expect that. Let's not kid ourselves.
But it's a bop from me too.
Sorry, I haven't let you go. Yeah, bop.
Yeah.
Bop from both of us. The next one is KATSEYE's Gabriella. We obviously have spoken a lot about Gnarly. This is the second track off their forthcoming EP. This one was produced by John Ryan, who's done a lot of the Sabrina Carpenter stuff, and also co-written by Charlie XCX, which is so funny because it's definitely not Charlie XCX in her brat bag. It's Charlie XCX in her senorita, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes bag.
You've stolen it again. This is literally what I said. I was like, it's Camila Cabello.
It is Camila Cabello, but I don't know. It just works for me. Everything this group is doing works for me. I feel like there's nothing super interesting about this song, but even when they pull out the Spanish towards the end, I'm like, oh, they're so global. Like, you know, they just cover every corner of the globe in some kind of way. And there's just something like really endearing about what they're doing and how like kind of camp and ridiculous both of these singles have been. And that the campness of it all is only maximized by the fact that these two singles could not be any different to each other. Like they are absolute polar opposites. And I feel like I kind of thought about this single as if it was like a Fifth Harmony song, and that like made me love it somehow. I don't know. I like it. What do you think?
You just love Camila Cabello, and that's why. You can hear her singing this and you want Fifth Harmony to be reuniting and doing this song. This is an absolute flop from me. It's so boring, so D-grade. Camila, like, I don't know. This was like an off-cut of Camila, and I think it's just so disappointing. They went from Gnarly, which was so fun and interesting and like, you know, really unexpected, and then to this, I was like, oh, okay. So was that just a one-off and you're going to do this like random... Like, I get doing like international songs and different genres and stuff, but it doesn't go anywhere. Even the Spanish at the end, I was like, put this in the beginning. Like, make me hooked in from the first second.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
true.
I don't know. For me, this is... I will never listen to it again, and I hope I don't hear it again either. Sorry, KATSEYE.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I just fall on a different side with this, where I actually think that they're in on the joke of this being so straight down the line in comparison to Gnarly. And I think the EP that I think comes out next week, I feel like then we're fully going to see what they're trying to do here. But I think there's more to it, and I'm willing to give them the rope.
I think that would make sense if something happened in the last 30 seconds of the song that was different, but it just doesn't. Like...
Okay.
I think this is the label saying you need to give us a fucking big hit and a straight down the line pop song that also gets the Spanish fans in. And they were like, okay, sure. It just doesn't sound like them to me.
Okay. Agree to disagree. It's a flop from me. It's a bop from me. It's a flop from you. It's a bop from me.
You just accidentally said it was a flop. I don't even think you like this song. You just like Camila and you miss her.
Next song is Sombar, We Never Dated. Obviously, Sombar is the New York Lower East Side kid who's like blown up with Back to Friends and Undressed recently. Like probably the biggest new artist of the year so far, I would say, in terms of like streams and whatever else. We Never Dated is his next song, and to be honest, it's just like more of the same, and people will like eat it up if you liked the other two singles that have popped off. And I don't really have that much more to say about this song other than that. I think it's a flop for me, but I just don't really care enough to even go that deep on it, you know?
I didn't realize he was this big. I don't think I've ever heard of him, unless we've spoken about him on the pod, and I just can't remember.
I don't think we have, but I feel like you would know at least one of his songs.
Yeah, okay. The first 20 seconds I found interesting, and then I couldn't tell you what happened the rest of the song because I completely zoned out. It just didn't grab me at all, so I can't bop a song that...
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It's very one note.
Yeah. So it's a flop, unfortunately. But also, I don't think we're the target audience. It's probably like younger people who are feeling more in their feelings. Oh, actually, I feel my feelings all the time, but younger people.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to say?
This is for the youths who
We're
actually
old and dried up emotionally.
Well, us millennials block all our emotions, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically,
Exactly.
if you love this song, good for you, but it didn't grab me at all.
I agree with that. Okay, the final song that we've got to get through, and honestly, I could have added so much more to this New Music Friday because there's still music from like Pink Pantheress, there's a Carol G album, there's a lot. We just couldn't get to all of it, but I will add it to my New Music Friday playlist. If you want to go to Pop Sam Cam's New Music Friday playlist, I'll drop that in the notes below and you can check out all of it. But this final one is Sam Fender, Rein Me In. This is a song off his album, People Watching, but this version features Olivia Dean. You know that I am a recent Dina streamer and you are a long-time Dina streamer. So you're on board with this and you asked me to add this in. So you go. Give me your 2 cents.
Well, I wanted to take us back to Dean Street because I know that you've really... Also, Nice to Have Each Other has
My
like just
home.
gotten better and better. I can't stop listening to it.
It's so good. It's so good. And she name drops Italy in it, so naturally it's now my song of the
That
trip.
actually, I think,
entire
has potential for
personality.
Song of the Summer.
I agree.
Nice Song of the Summer. No, that doesn't work. Okay, the thing. Oh, I wanted to. It's terrible. I wanted to add this in. You can tell we're recording this in the morning rather than the evening because my brain's not fully formed.
We're looping.
We're gooning for Boone. That's what's happening. I wanted to add this song because I think this shows just how fucking talented Olivia is. Like, she adds so much to the song. I love Sam Fender and I love this album. And I already liked this, but I just feel like she adds such depth and like, I don't know, the way she moves around a song is exceptional. So I just feel like I really wanted to add it in because I want people to listen to it and pay attention to how he sings on it versus how she does and then how they've harmonized together. I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really like the Sam Fender album as well. And obviously just recently like fallen in love with Olivia's voice. And this song kind of didn't stick with me on the album, but I think it's going to stick with me now because I love these two together. And what I love about Sam is he like obviously kind of occupies this rock space in the UK and he can do something like headline Reading and Leeds Festival and have this real rock dog aesthetic. But then like he's got Andrew Scott in the video for People Watching and then he's tapping like Olivia Dean for this song. Like he's just showing that he has range and that he's not just like kind of like a hothead rock dog who's like really just in it for like, I don't know, not to like criticize the rock dog fan base, but you know, they're not known for like often having the most like expansive like opinions and embrace these kind of communities. So like to have Olivia Dean on this is really cool. I just think he's like his artistry is incredible and I love this song. It's a bop from me for the final song of Bop or Flop. That is it for Bop or Flop. Thank you, Jono, for joining me. That was a wild ride. You, for most of the time, sound like, because my internet's so terrible, it's like I'm getting like doubles and echoes of you the whole time, which just amplified what you were saying and made it even more exciting for me. So, I feel like I've been drunk for an hour.
I think having double of my
voice... Which is good, because you're usually drunk.
Double of my voice in your ears probably the first step to hell. Sorry you had to go through that.
I'm going to check myself into a mental clinic after this. You've finally pushed me over the edge. Sorry for not being around for the Thursday episode, but that will be back next week and we'll be on regular scheduling once I've finished holidaying. But if you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe, rate 5 stars, and come back next week for Bop or Flop. Thank you, Jono. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sam. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.